Catch Coach Farias slipping up all of these powers that be in this new administration and this kind of changing culture. But he was widely misunderstood. A lot of his critics weren't from the basketball program. A lot of times they could be, you know. We know for a fact, what's his kid, the kid Miller, his mom was included in what was told Coach Farias, one of the 3 reasons why they fired him. And one of them was he doesn't do enough to get kids onto the next level. And this kid, his fucking mom, trying to be objective here, but his mom was mad that...
Now's not the time for objectivity.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
No, I'm saying bring it.
Bring it. Yeah, he thought he was a scholarship player. Or his mom didn't like the fact that he went to Salve Regina, which is a fine school in Newport, Rhode Island. But she really came down and complained. And was just in the ear of the new AD. And, you know, I called the kid on it. I said, I want to talk to your mom, too. He goes, I'm not sure what my mom has to do with it. I was like, well, she got Coach Farias fired, so I just want to ask her what she feels about it. You know, he's all shook. It's news to him. I glossed right over it, you know. Okay, so you're not, you don't know about that. Okay, well, I just told you. But, because I have you on the phone, you think you're a scholarship player? I never said that. You answer the question.
I never said that.
Yeah.
Kid, I never said that.
I never said that. I never said that.
Do you think that...
That was bullshit.
Do you think a coach has described it as like, you know, a lot of bad timing or a lot of bad coincidence, you know, thing, whatever. Do you think that the new administration, when they got there, they were met with a lot of people squawking in their ear? Or do you think that just upon meeting him, in your opinion, just upon meeting him, they formed that opinion? Because, I mean, you know...
Yeah. I mean, I think there was a severe... Yeah, I think there was a severe... as far as the new administration,
I'm speaking specifically of the athletic director.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, that job, A, pays too much, and B, there's not a lot to it. So
you got to make something.
These ADs would come and go, and some would be a little more politically inclined on some local waiting for Guffman stuff than others. And, you know...
Point of reference, Tony Porter pulled it off.
Tony, yeah. But, I mean, this new girl, 33, went to Tufts, you know, loves sports, appears women's basketball. Well, she played basketball in college. But, you know, now all of a sudden, she looks at a job as an AD differently than what it is. And she's whatever, in her own mind. She's progressive. These guys are old. This world has changed. You can't yell at kids. I don't care what his record is. He wasn't nice to me when I saw him in the hall. Blah, 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 blah. I want to make my mark because it's a career. When it's a school and it's a place of teaching, the actual teacher is fired, and this AD goes on to really show her true colors, morally speaking, as it relates to her job with this Title IX thing where she was, you know, she invented some lawsuit of an actual person living in Lexington to pretty much scare the Middlesex League member ADs to vote for. Yeah, I mean, it's just all about why, you know, my kid wants this. Why did he play? And then, well, now my kid doesn't play because this guy's an asshole. Why is he screaming all the time? Why is he swearing? I'm writing a letter.
I think the biggest obstacle that these kids are going to face, they grew up in that generation, is they were taught how to build confidence, but not character.
Yeah. Can I say?
Yeah. Confidence, but not character. You know what I mean by that? You're the best. Yeah. You're the best. You're the best. 7th place is still great. There are no winners, all right? Build up the confidence.
You can do, yeah.
But without the character that's
Which comes from loss and sacrifice. Yeah, and it's a crying shame, and we're gonna get our ass kicked in the next century. Okay, India and China. China, you know those guys that do 30,000 engineers a month?
Saying,
they split out in college.
Don't belittle what it is that we're trying to express, because it has a message.
Wide-ranging implications. And this is the perfect microcosm, because this is Lexington. This is the best schools. This is successful town full of successful people, and they expect success. And it's just like the bank bailout. You know, don't be naive and think this is a democracy or capitalism at this point. You know, and it's just disturbing, because what everybody needs, banks included, is just get back to fundamentals, and just get back to the basics. And there's no shortcuts. You know, it just sucks, because he would raise men. You know, you come out of there. It's a storybook too. I mean, because like Coach Farias, when I got put in the ACE program, I had lost 15 credits as a sophomore at the end of my sophomore year. I just gotten laid for the first time, and I was all excited. And my girl got out of school. She graduated like a month early, and I just stopped going. So as a freshman again, by credits, you need 88 to graduate. And they called this whole meeting, and I was put in ACE. And I was going to be allowed to stay on track, and if I could somehow make up these credits. And there were all these avenues to do. And Coach Farias, the way that he would dole out the credits, it didn't come to the very end, and I always wondered what was going to happen. And it wasn't really until in his estimation, you know, that I had earned these, you know, he just made them magically appear, these 15 credits I needed. And it was cool, because it was the first time too in my life where I was like living completely like positive and clean on all karma fronts, and just focused on the seriousness of life, you know. And then he gave me the credits, and then I graduated, and it just felt like, okay, you know, I learned something.
He helped
you know,
you
and he learned something too. You know,
he helped you on your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you say that without the cigarette?
Oh yeah.
Just say.
He helped me on my way. Yeah. And we had the great, because he learned a lot too, you know what I mean? Our constant battles of, you know, friends and loyalties, and the genesis of the first book, there was a middle ground there for him, because I got to know him in a more intimate way. You know, the big basketball coach is now my teacher in this program, and it was fascinating to get to know him. We visited his mom in Fall River, you know, and I was just his boy. And it was great to know about his personal life. The man needed a couple friends.